everyone. Now is time for the fun part of what I get to do, and that is to share some books with you. These are kind of the favorites in our house right now, and my kids are 3 and 1, so I have a lot of books for their age, and my husband actually is going to do a video on older kids' books that I've gotten, just because I make him read because he's a fast reader, and he usually can get through them very fast. So I'm going to do the ones that we have for ages, infant to about 4-5 years old. So the first book I wanted to show you was this Animals Slide and See. And the fun thing about these books is that they have all around the pages, they have all these little fun slides, which are fun for little ones to do. They're very colorful, they're very fun, and a great way for them to turn pages. The pages are thick and sturdy, and just work on their motor skills with lifting the sliding and the stories. It's simple, colorful, and fun. The next book I wanted to go over was That's Not My Plane, and this is part of the That's Not My series. There's That's Not My Monster, Princess. I think we have the princess one, the kitty cat one, the dog. Elijah wanted this one, even though he's 3, and it's a little bit young for him. He actually, which I didn't even think of until he started doing it, loves to read this to his sister. So on each page there's these little areas that are touchy-feely, so that's fun. That's Not My Plane, its wings are too bumpy. That's Not My Plane, its wheels are too squishy. So it goes throughout the book, and again, these pages are very thick, which is great because Isabel, she loves to turn pages by herself. And the last page always ends up with, That's My Plane, its windows are so shiny. So it's shiny, squishy, just a fun. These are a lot. There's a lot of these books, and they're very fun for your little new readers or your bigger readers. And the last baby book is the Lift and Flap Playbook, which this was just so sweet, and it is so colorful, and this has a lot more touchy-feely things than the See and Slide. The cloud is textured. We've got this flap here. On each page there's a different texture and flaps. Or, it's very, very bright. Who's hiding? My daughter, she's Destructo. But this book's it's held up pretty well. And the last one is this base page, which has another lift and flap, shiny and very textured. Super fun, super bright. I love these books. The next one is for a little bit older, I would say 3 to 4 year olds, but really any book is perfect for a child at any time because they're only going to continue to read. So Isabel's one. I got the Cinderella book because A, I wanted to see what it was like, and B, it's Cinderella, and I know one day she likes to look at it now. So this is a fun Cinderella book because it has these flaps. I love flaps. And the little hole throughout each page kind of builds up the story and creates the scene. So this is just a fun, simple Cinderella story, but beautifully illustrated with these fun flaps. It's great. And another book somewhat like this are these Peek Inside. This is Peek Inside Animal Homes. There is quite a collection of Peek Insides, and these are just filled with just a lot of information and with flaps. So Osborne's, they love flaps. I love flaps. So who doesn't? Kids love flaps. They love to find things. It makes reading fun. And these again are very colorful. They all have flaps on the pages of where these animal homes are. And they show different animals. So these peek insides are really fun. If you wanna know what other ones are in the series, just feel free to ask. The next book I wanted to go, this is a biggie, is the Complete Book of Farmyard Tales. This book is it contains 20 of the popular farmyard stories. So this is called a complete volume. And the great things, these are save money. This is $24.99 for the complete set. And it comes with a CD, which is great for if you're on vacation, driving in the car or whatever. Even if you're just driving around town, you can pop the CD in, have your kids be listening to their favorite stories that they hear all the time. And just to highlight some of this book, so it has two sections. The top part, if you can see it, it's just a simple story, simple for kids to read on their own if they're beginning to read, and the story still makes sense if you were to only read the top part. So it is time for breakfast. Curly is hungry, and then you know, we could continue to read it as well. It is time for breakfast. Miss Boots gives the pigs their breakfast. But Curly is small and he does not get any. So if you don't have a lot of time and it's, you know, bedtime, you can just read this, or your child can read this to you and you can finish the rest of the story on the bottom. And it just has a lot of different tales about the farm, Apple Tree Farm. So this was actually my niece's, and she's 14 now. So it's been in the catalog for a long time, and it is a very popular series. Which brings me to another, this is another complete volume series. So the nice thing about these is there's 6 different books in this from the, they're all phonics books, which are great for kids beginning to read themselves. This is $14.99. You know, Cow Takes a Bow on its own is $6.99, so you get 6 books for $14.99. That helps to save a little money. In this particular book, there's Cow Takes a Bow, Snail Brings the Mail, Bee Makes Tea, Underpants for Ants, Croc Gets a Shock, and Crow in the Snow. And they're all super fun, super cute. Elijah loves reading this from front to cover. The stories are whimsical, and they're a fun read. The next I'd like to show you is this Muddle and Match. There are a lot of Muddle and Match books. They're so fun. And what's great about these is you can create your own story, or if you want, you can just read the story as is. So this is Pete the Plucky Pirate pleads with Percy, his peculiar parrot, to prepare to paddle the Pacific. But if you wanted to change it up a little bit, you can have Simon the speedy spaceman knows he will need to be nimble to catch the cunning criminal. So there's a lot of these books, and they are very fun to read and make up your own story. One of the last books I wanted to go over was this Shine a Light books. The great things about these is, and there's plenty in the series, is you have these great big books, great illustrations, and this dark nooks under the rocks make perfect hiding places. Can you see who is resting here? And the great thing about this is kids usually love to have flashlights, so you turn your little flashlight on, they get their flashlight out, they're all ready, and it might be hard to see because it's so light here, but what it is so the Shine a Light is, I'm trying to go close so you can see, but I could probably just put it to the window, it's so bright. Because the page on the other side is so dark, it shows through Oh, you know why it wasn't working? Because I had double pages. I'm trying to go fast. So there it is. Now you can see there's the rest of the crab's body. It's really fun. And on the next page it says, click, click. A crab holds the pinchers up ready to grab a tidbit to eat. So these are really fun books. And the last book I wanted to do, these are favorites here. We have the Big Book of Stars and Planets, and we also have the Big Book of Sea Creatures, and there's quite a few others of trucks, construction sites. These are just jam-packed with a lot of knowledge, a lot of giant fold-out pages, which are awesome, you know, beautifully illustrated. So let me just show you real quick. This is the first page. And then talking about the planets, and then it opens up to these giant pages going into more detail about each planet. And there's about 4 different fold-outs. Here's another one just showing, you know, different satellites up in space. And these books, they're great. They make learning fun, and they just have awesome illustrations. I've learned a lot just from reading these books. So those are just some of our favorite books here, and I'm just so thankful for you to listen, and hope you've enjoyed my little reviews. And if you have any questions about anything or want to know about other books, I know it's hard. There are a lot of books in our catalog, but I will be glad to help you out. All right, have a great night, everyone.